For those of you that like podcast number 26, you're going to love this one. The same situation. Diameter is 600, so that means radius equals 300. Find the linear velocity. Well, in the previous one, I found that the angular velocity is 360 divided by 12, or 30 degrees per minute. You could also do it in radians, and you get 30 degrees equals pi over 6, and this is radians per minute. Now, what about the linear velocity? So another way to think about linear velocity is if something's going around in a circle really fast, like imagine that you've got a rope, and then on the end of the rope, you've got a rock or some heavy object, and you're spinning that rope around. Oh, you know what? Like a hammer thrower in track and field, this is what the hammer throwers do. They've got a wire with a weight on the end, and they spin around, spin around, spin around, and as soon as they let it go, that thing shoots off in a line, and that is the linear velocity. Okay, next up. Linear velocity. The fastest, easiest way to do it is it's r times the angular velocity. Now this formula works as long as the omega is in radians. So we can use this one, pi over 6. So it's going to be the radius is 300, and then times pi over 6. So how much is that? 300 pi divided by 6. So that is 157.08. And this was in feet, and this was in minutes. So they would travel 157.08 feet in a minute. Now, I don't really know much about Ferris wheels. I know what they look like, but I don't know how fast they go. So I sort of want to do this in a different way and make sure that I got it right. So one thing I could do is I could go like this. Let's suppose they go around the circle one time. That will take 12 minutes. If the radius is 300, then I could use the formula circumference equals 2 pi times the radius. So this is how far they traveled. Now use the idea that distance equals rate times time. Or if you divide both sides, rate is equal to distance divided by time. Well, right there, that's the distance. Now we just need to divide by the time. So that means that their rate is the distance, 2 pi 300, divided by the time, 12, for 12 minutes. And if you then reduce 2 goes into 12 6 times, then you'll notice this says pi times 300 divided by 6. And this says pi times 300 divided by 6. So they're actually the same. So I get the same answer in two different ways. I'm pretty sure that it's right.